Nana Edudakon, also known as God. I'm here with my running mate,
Godson Enchi, also known as Godsonic.
My fellow engineers, the time has come to set aside childish things. The time has come to reaffirm our enduring spirit, to create a better history for the Ghana Engineering Student Association. Our vision is clear: to position Gesa as the epicenter of innovation, progress, and a positive change in Ghana. To bring this vision to life, we will pursue an aggressive, multi-pronged agenda. Policy 1, infrastructure improvement. Under infrastructure improvement, we have renovations and we have the Kumaple project. Policy 2, capacity building. We have skill development and training. We have the Gesa Digital School, also known as the GDS. We have the Computer Literacy School. We have workshops. We have Innovation 101, and we have AICI, which stands for Academic Industry Collaboration for Innovation and Impact. Policy 3, academics. Under academics, we have what we have dubbed DSTC, which stands for Department Specific Tutorial Classrooms. We have the True Support Scheme. We have Progress PAL. We have digitized engineering lectures. We have the Gesa e-library, and we have the Gesa quiz. Policy 4, we have entrepreneurship and innovation. Under entrepreneurship and innovation, we have the Gesa market. We have the Innovate 14 Fund. Policy 5, entertainment and sports. We have the Gesa Premier League. We have the Gesa Fan Wave. We have the Health Works and aerobics. Policy 6, warfare. We have 1, the Gesa Someso. 2, the Gesa Food Bank. 3, mental health workshops. Policy 6, health and safety. We have under health and safety, safety symposiums, health screening, and first aid. Policy 7, wine. We have STEM camps and jobs for wine. We have she codes, and we have the sanitary pad dispenser. Together with my esteemed running mates, we have laid down a comprehensive plan of action that will transform Gesa into a beacon of excellence, innovation, and collaboration. So I ask you today, my fellow engineers, are you ready to embark on this journey of greatness? Are you ready to break down barriers and redefine what it means to be a member of the Ghana Engineering Student Association, KNUST? If your answer is a resounding yes, then I invite you to join me in this movement. Together we will tread a path that inspires awe and admiration, not just from our peers, but from the very institutions and leaders who shape our profession. Let us rise, stand tall, and show the world that the Ghana Engineering Student Association is truly capable of greater things. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much. So we would give you different themes, right? So academics, welfare, sports, etc., right? And under each theme, we would ask questions, and you have to use your policies to answer. Given that your opponent is not here, we will do the rebuttal for you. So you need to engage us, right? Yeah, so that's how it's going to work. So if your substance is good, it will obviously beat us, right? So that's how it's going to work out. So that's how it's going to be. So George is going to start with you guys, right? So
I'm starting with the vice president, vice presidential aspirant on health and sanitation. How exactly does your policy on health and sanitation seek to address the issues that affect engineering students on campus? It shouldn't be more than 30 seconds. You shouldn't answer in more than 30 seconds.
Okay, so under health and sanitation, one thing I would like to talk about is health screening. At Gesa, we believe that the health and well-being of our students are crucial to their academic and personal success. And for this reason, we will launch a series of student wellness screenings to proactively address the health concerns of our community. And then we also have first aid, where we are going to install first aid boxes to all department offices. So when you take an example, when you go to Aerolab, realize that there is a first aid box in the lab, but then it's not equipped with the necessary medical equipment we need once someone is ill. So that is something I would like to talk about. So I'll talk about first aid box distribution and then health screening.
all right, thank you. So first off, on your first aid kits, you said you provide first aid kits in all departments. That's 18 departments, or 14, sorry. Have you inquired if there are already existing first aid kits?
Okay, so yes, we have inquired, and then the first aid kits, a lot of departments don't have it.
Yes, so we've inquired and then we realized that even if a department has the first aid kit, it's not equipped with the necessary
It
material.
means you've not inquired. If you are saying even if, it means you've not inquired. That's a lie.
That was why I gave an example concerning Aerolab.
You said yes, we have inquired, but even if that's counterintuitive to inquiring about something. So it means your policy is premised on lack of information, right?
No, please.
The question is for your vice president. It's on welfare and health, so that's why we reserved it for the vice president, right? Just to the audience, that's how it was going to happen regardless. If we were here last year, that's how it happened. So don't try to create a scenario that I'm trying to do anything wrong. So the next thing, right, is on the screening. I want to understand how it will be done. Okay. And it's for the vice president. You can discuss, but then the vice president has to answer.
Yes, please. Yes, so for the health screening, this is the implementation strategy we have in mind. So we are going to partner with health organizations out there. And then there is even a health organization around campus, which is called, it's an eye clinic, which is called Perfect Vision. And they even collaborated with Gesa and Nooks to organize a health screening session at the College of Health Sciences. So that is one implementation strategy we have, to partner with health organizations out there to provide health screening for our good people of Gesa. Yes, and then we also have this idea in mind to collaborate with the health science students to also come on board to help us with the health screening. Yes, so we have 2 points in mind: health science students and then health organization around campuses. Example, eye clinic, which is called Eye Perfect Vision.
All right, I think it's good if you would partner health science students. It means you are trying to advance collaboration, right, within the students' body, which is good. I won't advise, however, that you go outside when there are students who can do the work too, right? So if you become like president and vice, I think the health science students method works, right? So, George, do you have any other question? Okay, Patience has a question.
Okay, so on entrepreneurship, how are you going to help students, entrepreneurs to balance their academics and both their business?
Okay, for entrepreneurship for entrepreneurship, this is the plan we have in mind to enable student entrepreneurs balance their academics and then businesses. Realize that when you take manual steps in messaging people, it takes a really long time. So I myself, during the long vacation, I built a WhatsApp automation system where you can even message your clients. So you can even send 2,000 messages within 30 minutes. And then we also plan on the Gesa market. It's a policy we have. And then we have packages like bulk SMS messaging, WhatsApp automation messaging, and then advertisement with brands like Campus Hype Crew and then WhatsApp Tech. And this is something that is going to reduce the manual process student entrepreneurs take to share flyers and to communicate their business, as well as advertisement. Yes, and another thing is that sometimes you find it very difficult to engage with people. And then we have this in mind where we are getting entrepreneurs out there to coach the students on effective and proactive measures in order to run their business successfully, because we are students and then it takes much time for us to run both business and then our academics. Example, I myself am the CEO of Brimosoft. Brimosoft is a software startup company, and then we realize that when we have projects, sometimes I also have to go to class. But here is the case where I have a mentor from Google. He's a project manager at Google, and then he advises me that once we have a class, what I'll do is that I can even take my laptop to class, and then when there's a free time, I can even take that time to work on projects. Yeah, so coaching is something which is very relevant in order to make the students psych their paradigm that yes, this is how you can balance your academics with.
Okay, thank you for that answer. But also, furthermore, do you know the number of student entrepreneurs in the college? Like, can you rate it on a scale of 1 to 10? Like, the number of student entrepreneurs?
Okay, well, actually, we can't provide the actual number, but what I can tell you is that right now, every single student is trying to venture into the entrepreneurship space.
So given that answer, are you going to provide publicity for every single one of them, given that the cost of this publicity is very high?
This is something that we are going to do. I'm not even the one asking the questions. Please, I just want to request for something.
While we wait for your answers, could we get a copy, please? Thank you.
What do you want to
And please, do you have an answer for me, or I should move to the next question?
Why does he have to bother me if they don't like me? He doesn't like us either. I'm not supporting. That's why I don't like you.
Okay, so this is the answer we have for you. For the WhatsApp auto messaging, it's free. It's a system we built by ourselves, and the only thing you need is data connection. So cost analysis is not really relevant in this situation. And then when it comes to advertisements with brands like Campus Hype Crew, we can also go on an unlimited package. Example, my president here did one during the 4-month vacation. It's called December to Remember promo, where he gave the chance for student entrepreneurs in chemical engineering students to partner with Campus Hype Crew for publicity. He also gave out free bulk SMS messaging and then a whole lot. So what we'll talk about is the WhatsApp auto messaging and then unlimited plan based on the partnership we have with the brand companies like
you are aware WhatsApp already has broadcast messages that allow these guys to put out their business already. So what is the delta or exclusive change on that side?
broadcast messages. If you have not seen the you can't. Yeah. So one advantage our system has is that for WhatsApp broadcasts, you can't send messages to students you haven't saved their contact. But our messaging system, you just scan the number and then you send the message directly. That is. So for the WhatsApp for the broadcasting, when you save their number and then they haven't saved the number, yes. And also for the WhatsApp broadcast, if you have saved their contact and they haven't saved your contact, you can't also receive your message as well.
And your system is able to bypass all those?
Bypass all the checks.
All right. So my first question is on women's engagement. I want to ask what your take is on inclusivity and quota systems for engineering students, specifically the women in engineering. Vice President.
Okay, so one key policy we have here is called She Codes. And then currently She Codes, we do She Codes at lecture theater, and we realize that a lot of the ladies in the College of Engineering do not participate because some of them do not even have laptops or even powerful machines to undertake these trainings. So what we are going to do is we are going to partner with UITS, and then we are even going to collaborate with Prempeh, the second library, to give them access to computers which has been provided by the school. Yes. For them to provide computers which has been provided by the school to engage in this training. Example, my president here did co-train where he partnered with Prempeh, the second library, and then it's even currently working. So this is something that we've done before and we can do it.
So generally there are both male and female students on campus that are facing that particular problem that you mentioned. They don't have their laptops that can do what they wanted to do. How are you then creating an exclusive solution for women and leaving these guys?
Okay, so the question we had was related to women in engineering. That is why we focused much on She Codes. But in taking a critical look at the college, we realized that we have both males and females. And then this is one problem we are facing in the college, because even last time someone complained that we have women in engineering that are training students on Python programming, but then the guys are not feeling included. But this is an example I want to give. When my president was doing co-train, he involved both males and females. When I was doing Build It, I also involved males and females. So I believe that when we come into power, we're not just going to consider the ladies, we're also going to consider the guys as well.
Okay, so when it comes to DSTC, which is department-specific tutorial classrooms, one of the challenges we faced last year was that a department used petroleum building, and then some of the items in the classroom got stolen. So because of one nut, it spoiled the whole soup to the extent that the provost gave an order that we shouldn't use
Department-specific
PV
tutorial
for
classrooms.
tutorials. So what we are going to do is that we are going to assign every department to a single classroom that can be available for tutorials. So at the beginning of the semester, we'll write a letter to the college registrar, then we'll send a copy of the letter to the security man and all stakeholders involved. We'll send a copy of the letter to the department executives and academic board heads so that we assign every department to a specific class. So for example, chemical engineering, if you go to petroleum building, you can give us PB001. So it means that when you send your letter to the stakeholders involved to use the class, if any challenge is recorded, they don't blame the whole Ghana Engineering Student Association. They blame the department involved. That is what DSTC seeks to do to help the Ghana Engineering Student Association at KNUST.
Okay, so these tutorials, will it be held during the weekdays or weekends?
The tutorials will be held during weekends.
Just weekends?
Yes, please. Because those are the times that the classrooms are not made available to the public.
Okay, would the tutorials be centralized or decentralized? You don't have to think about this. It's your policy, you should know by now. Guys, I'm waiting for an answer.
It's going to be centralized.
Okay, so explain how you do it.
So now, Gesa is the motherboard. And then we have the department. Gesa is the mother body. And now we have the rest of the departments. The rest of the departments are all under the Ghana Engineering Student Association. So it means that when we are doing something, Gesa has to be centralized. It has to be the mother so that it can help its children, the secular path of Gesa.
No, you're explaining what decentralized means. That's not what I'm asking. How would it work?
Okay, so to defend what he said, centralized, drawn toward us center, but under the control of a central authority. Yeah, so to defend my president here, he mentioned that the tutorial will be centralized. And then when we talk about centralized, it means that it will be brought under the control of a central authority. So because it's Gesa which is coming up with this initiative, which is department-specific tutorial classroom, when there is any damage to the materials in the classroom, Gesa will be blamed. So all in all, what happens is that all the tutorials should be under the control of Gesa. Yes, that is why we chose centralized.
I thought you said decentralized.
No,
you didn't say decentralized.
We said centralized.
Centralized.
Yes. We said centralized.
So this is what centralized means. It means Gesa will facilitate all the tutorials. Decentralized means you would be the head, but then the tutorials will be done by the departments. What you are saying is Gesa themselves will organize the tutorials. Your explanation and what centralized means are two different things. Unless my English is bad now and I don't understand.
But when you talk about centralized,
that's what decentralization means actually. That there's a bigger body, but they have given power to the smaller bodies to do everything that they want. And that's the explanation you are giving. But your tag is centralized. That's why I asked if it's centralized or decentralized, right? So you may want to work on that, right?
Could you please tell us what exactly you have per policy on infrastructure pertaining to the College of Engineering, since we've had a lot of upgrades of projectors etc in classrooms? What exactly is your policy to target infrastructure in the College of Engineering?
Okay, so I think you have to tap in infrastructure.
When you come to the College of Engineering under infrastructure improvement, first of all, I want to emphasize that all our policies are trying to solve students' challenges. One of the major challenges that students face in the College of Engineering is that there are inadequate study areas or resting areas in the College of Engineering. So what we want to do is that we want to identify available study and resting areas. Study and resting areas in the College of Engineering. So what we want to do is that we want to identify spaces in the College of Engineering that we can turn into a study area or a resting area. So for example, when you come to the Kumapli Auditorium, when you go to the foyer, you realize that there's a space there where students take chairs and then during the day they go there to learn. What we want to do is that we want to turn the Kumapli foyer into a resting area and a study area so students can go there in between classes to rest. That is one of our policies on infrastructure improvement. The next policy under infrastructure improvement is what myself and my running mates got in entry have dubbed renovations. What we want to do is that we want to renovate existing infrastructure such as the PB tent, the PB summer hut, the N block tents. We want to repair faulty sockets and washrooms. We want to provide more chairs in the classrooms, and we want to improve the signal strength in classrooms and around the college by fixing repeaters at vantage points. Repeaters are network devices that are able to receive signals. Repeaters are devices that are able to receive repeaters. Repeaters are devices that are able to receive signal from network devices such as Wi-Fi routers. They amplify the signal and then they extend it over a large area. Thank you very much.
Thank you. So after this we are closing. We are all tired, right? So what you are saying, getting space and rest, the rest parts, I think is too much of a burden to put on yourself as Gesa president. It's not something that you should do, but you want to do it, that's fine. But the question is, last year, current Gesa president, promised isosceles wine. The project has not been done. The project has not been done because it had the central idea that you have. The question is, have you inquired about the reason it hasn't been done, and what will you do differently?
Okay, thanks.
Your answer shouldn't be that he was lying. Like,
okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much. You see, every policy that we have here is a well-thought policy. It's something that we have done the smart analysis on, and it is feasible. So last semester, I engaged the facility manager about the space as the Kumapli foyer. He told me that around 2017, 2018, thereabout, the place was a resting area. That is why when you go to the Kumapli foyer, you realize that there are some stuck chairs that they have started removing. The problem that they were facing was that students will use the place and then they will put the letters inside the sofa chairs. But I think that right now we are grown, we are in the 21st century. We can educate our students so that they don't do such things, so that the College of Engineering can give us that space to carry out our project.
Thank you. Are you saying that 2017, 2018, they were not grown? because 2017-2018 was 21st century, so it's very disrespectful to say there were no groans where they were pushing letters there. No.
Relax. Okay, so first of all, I would like to cite.
So before you continue, language is very important, and you need to respect your predecessors. What you are doing is trying to create the impression that the people that came before were not reasonable enough and were pushing things into seats. But when you become president, you do better. You can't guarantee that. So it's not something that you should say in public. I think you have to apologize and then move on with whatever you want to say.
Okay, so this is what we said. We said that some students...
It doesn't help your case if you say some students. It's still disrespectful regardless.
But the answer we gave doesn't show any form of disrespect, because we are talking about what the student did, and that is why we are implementing a measure to solve that particular problem.
I don't want to stretch this. Yes, if you think you are not disrespectful, that's fine. That's on you. How I understood it is how I interpreted it to you, right? So go ahead and explain whatever you want to say.
Okay, yes. And then to add up to what you said, you mentioned that the current administration promised us isosceles, but then you realize that for you to implement a policy like isosceles, you would have to go through a lot of bureaucratic bottlenecks to implement this. But then when you look at the Great Hall Foyer, you realize that these are chairs that are there and then they are damaged. What you are just going to do is that you are going to bring new chairs. So it's not something that would have to go through a lot of bureaucratic bottlenecks to implement this.
So the last question based on what she said. So the acquisition of the shares, it will still be a process. I don't know how you are going to magically bring up shares from nowhere. You still have to go through like due process to get the shares. So how is that going to be a non-process?
When it comes to the purchase of chairs, when you compare the purchase of chairs, when you compare the bureaucratic obstacles in the purchase of chairs with that of the isosceles project, you realize that there's a vast difference. When it comes to the purchase of chairs, it is something that every department has been doing. When I was department president, I was able to write a budget to purchase board games for my department. So this is something which is very simple. You can just write to the Dean of Students to purchase chairs for the College of Engineering. Thank you very much.
Thank you for the run. You can take your leave. You can take your leave. Have a good night.
Very much.
Thank you very much.